To Morgan now at the desk with us. First in the morning, as always, with entertainment. Morgan, good morning to you on this Monday. Let's start by talking about Mike Myers, who is talking about why he's been so vocal supporting Canada as of late.
Yes, we've talked about Mike Myers a lot on this show, especially with his appearances on SNL as of late. You know, we saw him wear that T-shirt that said Canada's not for sale. We've seen him do the elbows up, kind of infamous signature move on SNL as well. And this is all in response to Elon Musk saying Canada is not a real country. So he's now talking to the New York Times, and he's saying, this is why it's so important for me to be so vocal in my support for my own country. You know, we all know Mike Myers is Canada. I don't know if a lot of people always remember that, especially
if there was any doubt, there isn't a Canadian Tire shirt.
Isn't that fantastic? So this is what he had to say. What happened came from my ankles and from my brain and from my heart. And it was not about me. It was about my country. I wanted to send a message home to say that I'm with you, you know?
Hey, we appreciate
I love that.
Yeah, from his ankles, though. Okay, I get the brain and the heart part, the heart and the head, but the ankles.
He's hitting all the body parts, Joe,
okay? All right.
Head to toe.
All right, so last week, Katy Perry was in space, and now she's on tour.
Right. So, and if you know, with this Blue Origin all-female space flight, there was some backlash. And unfortunately, she's also receiving some very mixed reactions to this big tour that she's currently on. She just launched this tour. She hasn't toured since 2018. And some people are really questioning the production. We're going to show you some clips. You'll see a clip of her with kind of what looks like a Star Wars themed
Yeah, she's really leaning into the whole space travel thing.
She really is, right? And even when she was in space, you saw her promote her tour. And then you'll see on the right there, that's the choreography that some people are questioning. I mean, to me, this looks very Katy Perry. But yeah, there's at one point where she kind of drops down on the ground and you're not quite sure she fell or if it's all part of the act. I mean, we've definitely seen Sabrina Carpenter do things like that, but it's very over the top. You know she's fallen on purpose, where here she goes and she's down. And she's down for a while. So, once again, to me, this seems very Katy Perry. But yeah, she's definitely getting some very strong mixed reactions. Her tickets aren't selling as well as I'm sure she would have hoped for. But if you compare other huge artists who are on tour right now, like Beyonce, her Cowboy Carter tour is also not selling in the way that her last tour did, even with, and I just read this, like a 75% decline in ticket, like price of the tickets, still not selling well. Could be the economy, could be so many reasons. But yeah, Katy Perry in the news a lot. I don't, with very strong mixed reactions.
I think she needs to bring back Left Shark. If
Oh
she brought back Left Shark.
That was the pinnacle.
Right?
That was amazing.
Yes.
And we cannot stop talking about that.
I wonder what he's up to these days.
Yeah, I think he's available. If she would like to add him to the show.
He's waiting. He's waiting in the wings to
kind of
come
like
out.
a special guest. Star. All right, finally, Ben Affleck. Let's talk about him. He was just recently with us on TMS, and he is talking once again about his 13-year-old son who wanted some expensive sneakers.
Okay, so we're going to show you a clip. This went kind of viral a few weeks ago. His son picked up a pair of Dior, I believe, Air Jordan sneaks for $6,000. So we're going to show you the clip, and then we'll show you how he responded to this. So take a look.
It's a lot of lawns you got to mow there. I like those because they're expensive. You don't like them there.
No, they're tough. I've always said they look good.
Okay, so wow, if only. Can you imagine if my dad took me somewhere with sneakers where I was even in the same room as sneakers that were worth $6,000? So here's the thing. This is what I like so much about Ben Affleck. He just seems like a real guy, despite him being like a huge Hollywood star. So he said in an interview recently, he responded to this video and said, well, if you want that, you can work 1,000 hours. And once you've worked that, you might not want to spend it on a pair of sneakers. So we did calculate that's about $6 an hour, which is what I used to get paid by my dad when I would pick up pine cones in the backyard. $5 an hour right there.
Well, if you want those sneakers, there better be a lot of pine cones.
I think there's going to be a lot of pine cones.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's making it clear. He still makes his kids work for expensive things.
Good.
I'm just thinking Morgan would have to actually take those pine cones and empty them back out on the lawn again, re-put them back in the bag, empty them out again, and keep doing that.
My question is, where did I put them? Like, I think there was a corner in our backyard that I just dumped, and then, like, what was I doing? But anyway, it kept me busy.
Thank you, Morgan.
Yeah, thanks so much.